when you're not. And that's how you get tricked. You think you know something, but you only know a little part. And so somebody else can come along and say, well, no, I saw it this way. And the next thing you know, you're in an argument because both of you think you're right. Well, in the Metunetter, the way to solve that is through Tehuti, number 2 on the sphere. Because Tehuti is omniscient. Tehuti can see all. Now, I know you've heard that word before. There's omniscience, there's omnipresence, and then there's omnipotence. So that's a trinity. I'm sure you've heard it before. Tehuti is omniscience and can see the whole piece, where Sebek can only see those little parts. Okay, and then you think you know everything. In fact, I did a video on that. It's called Thoughts on Fractals, and you might want to check that out. It's on YouTube. Thoughts on Fractals. It's about 3 minutes. Okay, so what I'm looking at is Sebek and peace. So you might wonder why Sebek is included if Sebek is a trickster energy. The reason is because Sebek is a programming tool. You can use Sebek to reprogram your spirit, your true spirit, so that the parts that you're looking at to solve your problem, you infuse them with your divinity, so that they are no longer something that's going to trick you or hurt you. And you have a very insightful way of looking at parts, and you infuse them into your subconscious, so that that knowledge just manifests itself out of you the same way it would, the same way you do when you, like I said, crack your knuckles without realizing what you're doing. Okay, now, so let me share the insight that I've had with Sebek and peace, because you want peace in all situations. Now, I know that sounds impossible, but it's not. It's not. Okay, what I learned was so simple that I overlooked it. I thought it wasn't important. And that's when you get tricked. And I was tricked. Here's what I learned to do. Quote, check my beliefs and affirmations to determine whether or not they fit the form and function of my intentions. Unquote. Okay, so what does that mean? It means, and I know you've heard this, if I keep repeating the same processes, the same actions, how can I ever expect to have different results? Yeah, that's a good question. My beliefs, and Sebek, belief is the territory of Sebek. Do my beliefs, which fuel my actions, cause me to achieve the results that I want? It's very simple. It's so simple I overlooked it. Just a simple thing. Chocolate cake. Okay, see, I love chocolate cake. The question is, if I continue to eat chocolate cake, am I going to lose weight? It's very simple. You don't eat the chocolate cake and you do exercises, then you lose weight. So what's the problem? Emotions. Emotions are always the problem. Sensuousness, the pleasure of the chocolate going into my mouth and tasting it and all of those poppings, you know, that just set you off, they are the trickster. So you forget about what's going to happen to the weight. You just concentrate on the pleasure. And then, of course, the weight problem hits you. So that's just one area right there of looking at beliefs and how they disturb peace. So what do I program into my subconscious? Is it stop eating chocolate cake? Well, not at this point, because that's not what I'm working on for this meditation cycle. I'm working on returning to peace. So I have to program something else into my subconscious. And what I would like to program into my subconscious is the ability to pause and check my beliefs. Just stop. Don't eat the cake until I stop and think of what beliefs are leading me to this cake. The beliefs of how good it's going to taste, that's one. But is it a part of my major goal? Is it going to lead me to peace? Absolutely not. It will lead me to pleasure, but pleasure is not peace. Peace, again, no emotions, no objects, no dark, no light, absolute darkness, absolute stillness, no time, no space. The chocolate cake isn't even going to keep my body alive. It's just going to give me a memory of pleasure, which will not be long lasting. So if I can just stop and think before I put those things in my mouth, or if I can stop and think before I say something that's going to hurt someone, or if I could just stop and think, you know, what are these beliefs that are forcing me to think, feel, and act in a way that's not going to lead me to peace. That's what I want to program into my subconscious. Okay. So that's where we are with Sebek and peace. You know, sometimes when you are able to look at just the total absurdity of why you do the things that you do, you're able to stop. You can stop and make a change, make a better choice. And so it's very difficult to stop because that ego is in a hurry. And when you stop, you have to take time to actually process what you're doing. So that's why you need it to be a habit, and you need to program it into your spirit. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up this episode. Let me go ahead and give you the law of Sebek according to Routen Nephramen, which is, it is not what I think or what I affirm. It is who is thinking and affirming. Am I a human or a divine being? That is the law. And the assumption is that, yes, I am a divine being. And so when I change from an understanding that it is not my ego that's changing, but my divinity that is the energy that is making the change. Okay, so please don't forget to stop by lulu.com, Lulu, and check out the fable, The Happiness Tree by Pamela Hamilton. That's me. And I want to thank you for visiting with me. I want to thank my ancestors and the deities. And until next time, I wish you great fortune. great, great fortune. Hetep, that means peace.